Hello YouTube, we're back. I have not been here for a while. Apologies. Not much really been going on, just a little bit of hiatus. Work. But obviously I've still been incredibly active on every other piece of social media. So we will come right in here. Yeah, I'll give you a very short update in terms of what is happening on my triathlon training. I'm gonna set my timer because that's gonna make sure you're doing something. This is a little bit different video because I haven't done an equipment list in a while, and obviously all of you are very interested to know what's happening. So I've got everything down here in terms of what is happening with my equipment. I'm gonna split this up into probably 3 videos, talking about my runs, my cycles, my swims, and probably nutrition, okay? And then maybe we'll do another one with weight training and how we're encompassing that as well. We'll do nutrition and weight training together. All right, so we'll do 4-ish videos, maybe 3, because cycling doesn't really go into much in terms of what we do. And we'll just explain why and what. So we'll try and keep these a little bit shorter than normal, a nice little 10 a minute each, maybe. 5 minutes each, maybe, we don't know. We're gonna keep it short and sweet, a little bit less than the normal, because you've got time to kill, obviously. Obviously, like, subscribe, follow, that kind of stuff. Go check out my Instagram, far more active in there. You obviously be on here. I'm trying to do a little bit more than what we said, but we're up to episode 10. These will be episode 10, 11, 12, through becoming a half an Ironman. Yeah, at least 2 a month, of course. Just letting you know how my training is going. In terms of my training, it's been a little bit lower, only because I was away. I was in Dubai. I was sick, unfortunately, and I've moved facilities for my work. I am now training people out of a different facility, which has taken a little bit of my time. And also the weather is crap, which is a little bit more annoying to get past. And it's entering the Christmas season, so maybe you'll watch this during that. Okay, all right, without further ado, we're gonna go through equipment for runs, because that's why you're here. We're gonna do my running equipment list, exactly what I've bought, what I have and still using, what I'm thinking about purchasing going forward, okay, into my running stuff. All right, so biggest piece of equipment for running, I will say it probably on every single one of these videos, will be my Garmin. I'm not currently wearing my Whoop. I'm gonna put that back on in the new year because, yeah, Whoop doesn't need to know I'm on Christmas parties at the moment, but the Garmin is all fine, okay? In terms of pacing, it's been fantastic. I think it's actually just been updated, so it's giving me like an FTP stuff, so my functional threshold power, but that is for obviously my cycling, and it's saying my VO2 max is far better on my cycling than it is my running, shock. But I will need to do, I think I'll need to do a 5K this week because I did say I'll do it by Christmas. So watch out for that. That'll be dropping some point. Do a summary. My running hasn't been as good as I want it to be, but we'll see if I've improved. Yeah, hopefully. We'll do that by the end of the week. That sounds like a fun Friday gig. All right, so we have my Garmin. Obviously, I've got a 745 or whatever. I got the slightly reduced, not the lesser downgrade version from the 960 whatever fancy, because I wanted to wear it every day, and that one was massive. It was very nice, but it was huge, and this one does all the bells and whistles in terms of triathlon training. Yeah, so that is the biggest thing. All right, moving into other stuff. What is the most exciting? Not really that exciting. One thing that you will need to purchase, now that longer runs are definitely intertwined, I've gone through very standard Solomon. It sounds like Saruman or whatever. My little vest. Obviously, when you put it on, you look fantastic, probably without a hat. And then you put your vest on, you do this business. This is how you wear it. It's got 2 500ml waters, and then I think I've got a 2 litre like Camelback, which I actually haven't had to use because these have been enough at the moment, to go on my longer runs. Not for any of my shorter stuff. I don't bother doing that, okay? Because the tendency for me, remember when you're running, you will need, as soon as you start sweating, you're losing the battle of hydration, okay? So I would recommend if you've got anything over an hour that you're going for, even you'll probably notice it where your heart rate starts to spike during your runs. That's probably when you're starting to lose hydration status, okay? And that would probably be where you need to fuel, all right? Which we'll go into in a second. Probably a nutrition one. We'll intertwine the nutrition with the running, shall we? So yeah, I've just got a Solomon Elite, I think it's 1.5 thing. I think it cost me maybe 30, 40 quid. I feel like it was something I didn't want to skimp on. It seems to be, I think it was the going rate, but also Solomon seems to be quite a popular brand. I felt like a bit of a noob getting it though. My shoes have stayed exactly the same from where I've got them. We have my New Balance, my long runs, and my Street Flies Nike for, I actually need a bit of clean, for my track runs and my speed runs, interval runs. I feel like these are gradually dying, even though I don't feel like they've done much mileage. I also have bought some other Nike ones that apparently you run in, but I'm wearing this every day. These will probably do me until I think March time. These will be a little bit longer because these are very chilled, but these are gonna die very soon, I feel, just because I've probably done more of these runs. Weird, right? Most people enjoy the Zone 2 runs, but we'll talk about that another day. So the Street Flies are still nice and bouncy. They're 5 to 10K runs. That's why all my speed runs tend to be around that distance, and they will give me a little bit more projection going forward. These guys are a lot more soft. You can see the sole on them is a lot bigger, and they look awful. But I look like an absolute old man coach when I'm wearing them. That is the look I'm going for, all right? And then we have, probably very exciting, a lot of people do like a get ready with me. I'm not a get ready with me, I'm just gonna show you what's happening in terms of my other things, okay? So we've gone through this stuff before. On my speed runs, I will wear a little fanny pack, which is fine. It's from Build Fitness, pretty cool. You can probably see me holding it in one of my clips most of the time. And my go-to running, so if I tend to like these guys, so these are just like Nike like base layer stuff. If it's cold, when it's a fantastic thing to have on. Also have these on instead of pants, essentially. I know you wanted to know that. Just to keep everything a little bit locked in, so it's a little bit more compression. We don't have to slash it like Cole does mindlessly through his runs. And then if not, then they normally have like something built in. So like my Lululemon ones, they tend to be fine. So, but all of my, honestly, don't have to spend much on running shorts. Jesus Christ, go to my protein. Most of my stuff is my protein or gym kit that I've been given over the years, if I'm really honest. And I tend to just wear a normal top with a base layer. I don't put any kind of fancy running gear on. I'm sure it can be more breathable, but I tend to like the cotton on my skin, okay? So in summary, the runs have stayed around there. I've stick with my Oakleys, which are here, I think, in terms of running glasses. These are more golf related, but there might be something I go to in the future, just because you're taking in direct sunlight the whole time when you're out and about running, apart from obviously when you're running in the dark, which is very exciting. All right, so big things there would be those. We'll dip in to a little bit of nutrition now, okay? Because we're hitting into that 10-minute mark. We'll cover this for 2 minutes, and then we'll pair the cycle and the swim together, right? Cool. Right. So you've got 2 videos coming your way. All right, yeah, the other thing, so in terms of nutrition, I think the only thing we really talk about is hydration. Because obviously we talked about that from the Solomon Camel Pack, which I take, and I try to get through at least a litre and a half whilst I'm out and about, would be the idea. Because as soon as you start sweating, guys, I cannot emphasize that enough, you are losing your battle with hydration, so you're trying to replace everything that you lose, and the chances are you will need some sort of sodium kind of mixture. I did have those, I think I showed it on a previous video, in terms of what I was using for hydration. They were fucking LMNT or whatever, they were gross. So I've dabbled in essentially a Barocca, okay? Which is just glucose, minerals, electrolytes, prior. So 1 tablet, essentially, with 500 mils. I usually have 1 tablet with 1 litre. They just taste nice, okay? They're mixed berry, in sense of like kind of energy, fuck all, really. But it's mainly a little bit of glucose, a little bit of sodium, which obviously you're gonna lose a bit of salt as you're running around, because obviously sweat is salty, and that's one of the main things you're trying to keep in you. So I would advise to deeply hydrate, especially before your performance runs or your threshold runs. Have something like this with, I literally whap it in here, boom, bush, neck it and go. And you should be able to hold onto the toilet for that long. And then if you need something on the side, just have a little handheld bowl. That's fine for your tempo runs, stuff like that. Okay, because you will be able to run, get your heart rate up, and then go. Cool. All right, for the long runs, these are the things that I'm starting to play around with in those long cycles. So I do have SIS, but I've also seen that my protein, can you see who I'm sponsored? No, I'm not sponsored by them. Work with them a little bit, but not really. If you want my code, TomPaulPT, I couldn't care less if you don't use it. Don't get any money for it. So yeah, you get 10% off it, off everything else. I think it's like 37%. But anyway, you got energy gel from my protein and an SIS energy gel. These are just gross, really. I've not gone through many of them because I tend to have a naked bar. I will grab that right now. That was fast, wasn't it? Okay, so if I have a long way to go, these sit better, and I can sip them over a little, like 400 meters. If I want the feeling of fullness in my stomach, I will go from, this is just like a raw fruit and nut bar. So it's that gooey kind of stuff, like texture, but it will digest pretty quickly, okay? And it's a lot of glucose, which is gonna go in me fast. That's essentially what you're trying to do, is like get something in you quickly, and then so you actually be able to use it in 15, 20 minutes, essentially. With this, so the My Protein, we've got like vitamin B, we've got electrolytes in there, and we've got 25 grams of carbs in this, okay? So obviously we talked about how much nutrition you're meant to be taking on per kind of kilo of body weight, or per timing. You can handle like 30, 60 grams of carbs. So every, is it like 40 minutes or something like that? And you'll notice the drop off, or 45 minutes to now. You'll notice the drop off, obviously, in performance, and your heart rate will elevate again when it's trying to oxidize really hard. So I could probably, on an hour run, I just have one of these and time it at about 35 minutes in. Hour and a half, 1 to 2, more than likely, and try and get them in every kind of half hour. Yeah, and then you've got the SIS, which is obviously the popular branding, per 60 mils, so only 22 grams of carbohydrates. So these were a little bit cheaper, and they got more carbs, and they taste just as okay. And they're a little bit smaller in the packaging. But yeah, that will be the basis of nutrition. Okay, so we'll drone that in. So that's everything running wise, everything nutrition. Hopefully I'll leave a little link or like the description of every single product I'm using for those things going forwards, or what I've shown you. So I don't get any kickback from that, but if you buy it, let me know. Then I might. Fuck knows. And catch me in the next video, which is going to be released the day after this one. I'll talk about a little bit of stuff I'm doing, my swims, what I'm recording, and yeah, in my biking and my lifting. Okay, so this was all running, nutrition. Come back for bike, lifting, and swim. See you in a bit.